Mr. Poilievre was one of my childhood bullies.
In this exclusive interview, a man describes growing up under the shadow of Pierre Poilievre, not as a peer, but as an alleged victim of bullying and physical assault by the now conservative leader.
Punches, kicks, he picked me up on my face and lift me up, which was, not very good for the neck and the back.
If you have followed Media Bezirgan for a while, you already know we don't deal in partisan spin. We don't suppress intelligence about liberals or conservatives. We're not anti-liberal or anti-conservative. We are anti-corruption and pro-transparency.
I do believe that Pierre is the best choice.
The alleged survivor of Pierre Poilievre's violence says he still intends to vote for him, not because of the past, but in spite of it.
I haven't forgotten about what he did. I haven't forgiven him for what he's done.
I'm Mocha Bezirgan, and this is a Media Bezirgan exclusive.
So back in the past, in my youth, Mr. Poilievre was one of my childhood bullies, who on multiple occasions gave me a beatdown on more than one occasion, and was quite the terror to most of the kids on the block. And then one day he up and vanished, and we didn't see him for a few years, and then he came back.
What was the nature of the bullying, if you could share some details?
I don't know what his reasoning was, but I don't know if he singled me out directly, but on a few occasions he caught me alone, and didn't go over too well for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and were you guys friends before, or how do you know each other? Did you go to the same school?
So he was one of my neighbors, a few houses down. I knew his brother. I went to school with his brother. I played on his brother's hockey team. We're not going to say we were friends. We're more teammates, him and his brother, or me and his brother. And then just Pierre was around the block and took his chances when he got them.
Can I ask which team was it? What sort of sport?
Oh, it was a hockey team. Back then would have been Shaw Meadows, but that was back in the 90s. I don't believe they're around anymore.
He had two conditions to do this interview. First is to remain confidential, and second is to not omit the fact that he's still going to vote for him.
I am willing to vote for Pierre Poilievre, and I do intend to do so. I do believe that Pierre is the best choice of the candidates out there, and I do think that the PCs are the better choice to go with. So I haven't forgotten about what he did. I haven't forgiven him for what he's done, but I do believe moving forward he's the best chance we have going forward.
Would you accept an apology if he were to apologize to you?
Likely, yes. I'm not going to ask for it. It's a stage that I put behind me. Like I said, I haven't forgotten about it. I would forgive him. I've moved on. I'm sure he's moved on. He probably doesn't remember doing it. But for moving forward, I think this is the best option.
Is it okay if I ask details about the nature of the bullying? Was he physically... what was the nature of the physical?
Punches, kicks. He picked me up on my face and lifted me up, which was, not very good for the neck and the back. But a lot of it was physical beatdown. Typical bully stuff.
I understand he disappeared for a few years and came anew?
So I can't say what he did or why he left. I do know he one day just up and vanished from the community, and then a few years later we noticed that he's back. And a little bit of panic, no, I shouldn't say panic, but lack of a better word, panic came back as we were all like, oh shit, he's back. But when he did come back, we didn't have any further interactions. It was all before he left.
I see. Can you give us information about the ages when this happened?
So this would have been probably around the area of 93 to 97 or so. I would have been in elementary and junior high, and then by the time he disappeared, I'd gone on to high school and then moved on from there. And then when he came back, I was probably about, I want to say 2000-ish.
How old were you and how old was he when that physical altercation?
So I would have been coming into my teens, 12, 13, up until about 15, 16 years of age. Pierre is a few years older than me. I want to say 5 or so years, so I'm not exactly sure of how old he was, but he was a couple of years older. Definitely outside of, he didn't go to high school when I did. He was already up and gone. at that age.
May I ask if you have seen him do worse violence on others?
I wouldn't say worse, but he did the same thing to a couple of kids.
Anything else you would like to add?
I hope he learned from his mistakes. Everybody's got a past. Hopefully he's moved on properly. I've tried to leave it in the past myself. Of course, you can't forget those things, but it's time to move on.
I appreciate your bravery to come and speak the truth, and despite your support of him, you are willing to share the truth, so thank you very much.
You betcha. Like I said, I guess for this part, yes, he did wrong me. I do feel a certain way about it. I haven't forgotten about it. I haven't exactly forgiven him, but as I do believe it's the best choice for the country, I do believe I am going to be voting for him.
Last question, was blood ever involved?
Oh yeah, I got a couple cuts, couple bruises. Nothing profusely, but typical bleeding that comes with a beatdown.
Thank you very much for your time.
But this story sharpens the question. What's the real reason behind Pierre Poilievre's resistance to obtain a federal security clearance? I've reached out to Mr. Poilievre regarding these allegations, asking whether he disputes them and whether he intends to address them in a manner befitting a potential prime minister. As of the time of publication, no response has been received. I'm committed to keeping politicians accountable, regardless of their political affiliations. You can watch my report on the Regina bypass scandal involving former Liberal infrastructure Minister Amarjit Sohi at reginascandal.com. If you value the type of journalism that I do, please consider donating at mediabizergan.com/donate so I can do more and continue to remain independent, strong, and free. Thank you.